You're tuning in to Past Our Prime,
A show powered by Squad Locker.
Here are your hosts, retired Astros minor league star Tip Fairchild and former Patriots All-Pro center Dan Copen.
Episode 35. It is a big week, and our friend Tip, Past Our Prime, coming at you. Our friend Tip,
coming at you. Episode 35.
Is remote.
I'm in the.
You're remote, and we got James. We have former Patriots fullback, attended Brown University, so he's a smart kid. Mm-hmm. James Devlin will be on, joining us later on, so we got a lot to talk to him about. Who's running the Boston Marathon? Which, wow.
I'm not. I can't wait to ask some questions.
You brought it up last week. Weight loss, which we are going to do, and we have a little clip to send out for everybody on that one. So, first of all, why are you remote? Like Max is here. Max is here. I'm here. Yeah, I know. You're bike gang. You're bike gang. I got you.
There we go. I'm repping my gang with my shirt on. Team Early AF. I've been riding hard. I've been getting after it.
Your face still looks chunky.
I know. It's
You've
just
been like keeping nuts chips in there. You're saving saving for the winter.
Chips. It's eating chips.
and that baguette.
It's the bread makes me feel good, Dad. Yes. Bread makes me feel good. So I am home right now. Even though, by the way, I live approximately a mile from the office. From where Dan is seated right now, I'm a mile from. We're running through fully vaccinated here. Wife's fully vaccinated. We're running through some COVID things right now. It's wild. The other variant. I am quarantining.
Oh,
safely quarantining. I don't need to be quarantining because the Rhode Island Department of Health and the CDC say that because I'm vaccinated, I can go do my thing.
You need to quarantine because you're not choosing anything. You're not choosing this. And everybody listening here who is a man and has a wife knows who's making the decisions.
That's true. I'm listening though. I'm listening. I'm waiting for one more negative PCR. So I have been continually testing negative, both on rapids and PCRs. But because, we have it here, I continuously am being exposed, right? And we've tried to separate and set up different, areas in the house, but at the same time, it's just so hard. So I'm being smart right now, Dan. I'm getting one more. I just did another swab. The line was long, by the way. The line was long getting the swab at CVS.
Fantastic. I'm glad.
Hashtag CVS.
I hope you had to wait there. I hope it was out. Oh, no, that's the drive-through. So you're good.
I did the drive-through.
Yep.
Did the drive-through, bang, done. So get a test result in 24, 48 hours. Hopefully it's negative, and then we get back at it. But I'm glad I'm vaccinated because I think the symptoms are less, is one of the keys from that. So we're off and running here. We're right down the politics lane, right off the start.
No. On a serious note, I'm glad everybody's feeling well in there, which is good. And I understand people have decisions to make. You don't have a decision to make. That's clear. Your decisions are being made for you.
My decisions are based on
strongly recommended by somebody else in that household.
Yeah, strongly recommended, and
which is fine.
It's the right move. I'm gonna get the negative, and then we're gonna be good to go. So Max will be right back there with you. We'll be grinding it out. We'll be rolling. The world's still cooking with gas. We're on fire. Here we come. That's Squad Locker kicking butt. Teams starting all over the place. Football starting all over the place. Is football early in Pennsylvania, Dan, or is it not? It's not, right? Texas, they've already started, right?
No, they're probably starting practice at this week.
This week, yeah. I was going to say, because we're seeing a lot of football going on with
how awesome is this time of year though? The preseason sucks. I get it. It's not fun to watch those games, but at least there's football's the one constant that I feel like I can sit down now and watch any game. I don't feel that way with hockey or whatever, or baseball, obviously, but football is that one sport where now I'm to the point where I'm so far removed from playing that game where I watched so much film early on or during the season that when I went home, I don't want to watch any games. But now you become a fan.
That all 30? What is it called? All 30? All
22.
All 22. That's what it is.
All 22. Yeah.
Wait.
Well, yeah. I mean, but we had that obviously from the cameras from behind in the NFL. Actually, did a good job of.
Yeah, but that's very interesting for me to watch, though.
Oh, that's
like I actually when I see that, I'm like, whoa, how did he not see that guy? Right. But at the same time, it's happening in 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
So I can see why you might not see them. But yeah, this is one of my favorite times of the year. Dog days of summer.
We're about 4 weeks away from just the great sports time.
Not to mention the weather up here the last 2 days has been the most pleasant weather I think we could ever possibly have. Not a sniff of humidity.
Have you been outside?
I've stood outside. Yes, I have been.
I thought you weren't allowed outside.
Yeah, no, I've been able to stand outside, yes. So I've sat in the Adirondack chair. It's like 73 out. I mean, just like so comfortable. This is when you take the windows, you pop them open in the house at night, get the other AC there out of here. Give me the fresh air. Bring it in.
But it's usually not the case because usually it's just humid and hot.
Exactly. This is perfect right now. And now we're coming in. A lot of big golf coming up.
Maybe depends on today.
Personally, yes, not pro golf, but a lot of big golf coming up, football coming up, dog days of summer, baseball coming up, trade deadline, all that stuff. Everybody was for sale during the baseball trade deadline. It was hilarious. I loved watching that because I didn't have anything else to do, so I was just on Twitter, watching where guys are going to land, and then playoff baseball, which I love in the fall, along with football. It's like the perfect time.
You don't really start betting on baseball till playoffs, right?
I love betting on playoff baseball. I do not bet on regular season baseball because I think they play too many games, and it's like who went out and had one too many beers last night is a big indicator of stuff. Playoff baseball, they're all dialed in. So, and I like just betting over-unders in playoff baseball when you have pitching matchups. So that's my move for that. Okay. But what is on, Dan, I will tell you what has been great because my kids have not been feeling well, obviously, but so we haven't been on the go, as I like to call it, as in we got to be at a zoo or an aquarium or a place or a house.
You want to go for a hike?
Bike ride. You sent me a bike ride picture this weekend. You know the drill, right? It's like as soon as everybody's awake, it's like, okay, how fast can we get out of the house? And I like to actually just kind of chill in the house every once in a while, right?
Yes.
So, the good part is we can't do that. So what's on TV right now? The Olympics. So we have watched.
You've been watching
so
a lot.
Much. Oh my gosh. Last 3 days, I've just like nonstop watched Olympics. I did finish season 2 Outer Banks in one sitting, by the way.
We're in the middle of it, I think. We're in the middle of it.
One sitting.
Yeah, we're in the middle of it.
Yeah. I started at 7 a.m. I just got done at like 3 in the afternoon.
Boy, you had a tough day.
Yeah, I just blew right through it. So Olympics are on. We're watching tons of it. My daughter's like loving it, like volleyball, ping pong. She's like, when's the fencing on again? Fencing, it's going crazy.
Yeah. Table tennis is out of this world.
Table tennis.
That's right. Is out of this world.
I texted you, didn't get a reply. It was a late night text. I know. You were probably sleeping. You were sleeping soundly.
Yes.
The other day, USA USA water polo versus Hungary. The average size of the guy in the pool is 6'6", like 260. Why are those guys so big?
Is it the average? That the average is 6'6", 260?
Dude, they're giants, Stan. They're giants. Like the goalies are 6'7", 6'8". Like everybody in the pool is 6'6".
No,
and they're not small. They're not like lanky 6'6". They're giants. Like their bodies are huge.
And they can't. They're not touching the ground, right? At all. The whole time, right?
Depth pool. They can't like.
What's the depth of the pool?
6.5 feet, I think, is the depth of the pool, or maybe 8.5 feet. They can't touch the bottom. They're not touching.
Because I did watch some of that before you sent me that text, and you want to talk about athletes. And do you imagine what your whoop band would be after a game? Like that's swimming.
Oh my god!
Like the amount of energy that it would take to play that sport.
They go back and forth literally every 20 seconds.
But I feel
like
they also score like 75% of the time.
They do score a lot, but I watched that game, USA-Hungary. The goalies were unbelievable. They were blocking like everything. It was only 7-8 or something like that, like 10-8. It was a great game. I think, if I remember this correctly, I'm going to have to tag him in this episode. Josh Mickey, if I remember right, the Dick model. Dick's Sporting Goods.
Dick's.
Was an excellent water polo player.
I believe you're right. I remember that. Yes, you are correct.
So I am anxious to ask him about this and be like, I understand why you're not in the Olympics, because you need to gain 100 pounds and grow 6 inches, because these guys are huge. Shocking to me that was the size of these people. The other thing is, when you watch volleyball, beach volleyball is one thing. When you watch full court volleyball, what is it, 5-on-5 or 6-on-6?
Whatever, yeah.
I have no idea how anybody ever how they ever dig any of those shots. Those are 150 mile an hour volleyball, absolute haymakers on their head. It is crazy to watch.
100%.
I can't believe how hard they hit the ball. It's nuts.
All right, you are an Olympic.
I'm watching tons. Well, here's what I was going to ask, and here's the question now. Okay.
And I have one for you too.
Okay. The next Summer Olympics is in 4 years. Okay. First of all, a really cool thing would be if people were selected right now. Like, when the Olympics are over, it's not the best of the world. There's actually like a Hunger Games draft where it's like, you don't have to work anymore. You don't do anything, but you were selected and you need to run the 400-meter hurdles. Okay. And you have 4 years to train for it, but it's random selection. So like, you don't know if you're going to like what you're going to get, right? That would be awesome. That's what the Olympics should be, because then it's like, you have 4 years to train for it. That's it. If, Dan, though, you had 4 years right now, what is your best chance at getting into the Olympics with the sport?
Just looking over the list of sports, and they do change from year to year, right? But I'm going to go off of the 2020 list, or 2021 now.
Remember, you have 4 years to train.
4 years to train. I'm going to go with the canoe or kayak flat water. That I think that would be the one that I could not. I'm not saying do well. I'm not saying excel, but that's the one that would not kill me.
Okay.
I'm sitting down. My back would be just jumping out of a shirt or a tank or whatever. Do you want me in spandex? Doesn't matter, because there's going to be a big back over here if I'm rowing for 4 years in a row or every day.
I was going to say, it's not like you're going down the narrow river just kayaking here. Like, this is like a train.
No. It says flat water. I'm just going off the description of it. It says flat water. I don't want to go down rapids. That would not be good, because I'm going to go over and I'm going to drown, and then what's the point?
Okay, I got it. I would like to do, I think my best chance would be the BMX bike. Not the jumps, the race. Like the 1-gear bike that they have where they just cook around. They try to keep that back tire down as long as they possibly can, because that's how they're getting the juice. That would be my pick. You give me 4 years at that, I'd have to shed some weight, but that would be my pick.
Probably. Is it going over the little hills?
Yeah, the hoopties, hoops, and you got you're racing like 8 people or 10 people, and like there's jumps, but they're not trying to jump. They're trying to actually keep their tire on the ground as much as they possibly can, because that's how they're going fast.
All right.
That would be one. Also, I just saw 10-meter airsoft. 10-meter airsoft.
Yeah. Do you want to get into the most Max? What would you do?
Yeah. What's Max?
Oh, you put me on the spot. You both got to think about it. Oh.
Well, when we were talking about it earlier, you should have been doing research.
I think I'd have to do archery. I was hooked on archery this week.
I thought he was going to get back on a horse.
Oh no, never again.
I definitely did. I thought you were going to do eventing. Are you going to do eventing?
With the archery on the back of the horse.
Okay. Oh, that's like Roman times.
With the chariot.
Yeah, exactly.
What about what would you get? What would you get? Not craziest. What's almost dumbest? And I'm not these sports or whatever that I pick out, I'm not saying they're not sports. I'm not saying they're not athletes. I just don't think of them as Olympic sports. 3-on-3 basketball. I think you brought that up last week. I watched it this week.
I already know my pick
absolutely ridiculous. You already have basketball in there. You don't need 3-on-3 basketball. Shouldn't be an Olympic sport.
Yeah.
Again, great athletes. It is a sport. You play it all the time. You play it when you're 8 years old. Doesn't need to be in the Olympics.
I will tell you, it's a cool type of basketball because it's all about like pick and rolls and high low and like old school basketball.
It's on the playground. It shouldn't be in an arena in Tokyo, Japan right now for an Olympic sport.
What about netball?
What the hell is netball?
Netball is a basketball game. There's a hoop.
Oh no! You said that. Is that really a thing? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I don't see netball on here.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not there anymore because people are like, we shouldn't put this in the Olympics anymore because it's absolutely ludicrous. But it is. It was, and it's like you can't contest shots. That's what's wild about it. So like you can stand there right in front and try to make it, and they miss like all the time. Mm-hmm. The other thing I was going to say is I feel, and this is coming from a baseball guy, I think that like the big team sports don't feel like Olympic sports to me. Like baseball, softball, like things with like a team, like that takes usually time to like build up,
right?
Your team and like a
rapport.
These guys don't have that, right? I feel like the Olympics are much more of I get it that it's the biggest, grandest team, as in your country. But I feel like it's more individual sports all the time, right? Yep. Now I get it, like swimming. But I
think other countries are better at that team building or staying together more than the U.S., right? Because you're picking guys from different teams, the best of the best, but then you're putting them together for 2 weeks and that's it.
Yeah, and baseball, like you're in the middle of the season right now. If you put the stars together in baseball, it's a different game for so many different countries.
Yeah,
like Dominican Republic, Venezuela, USA. Like then it's the World Baseball Classic, right? So it'd be a different game. I love the individual stuff, but I also when I love the team stuff, I love like relays, and that's why I like the swimming because everything is a relay race.
Yep.
It's, you're jumping in the pool. I always feel, too, like the USA is always going to win, even if they're way behind. I'm like, this guy's got afterburners. They're going to run him down. And they feel like they do all the time.
Yep.
So there's a lot going on with that. So
all right. We'll get back. We'll get back to this. We're going to bring in James. All right. Now, former Patriots fullback. Yeah, he's ready.
Let's bring him in.
Are you sure?
Bring him in.
You just want to go?
Convo. We'll bring him right into the convo.
Oh, geez. There he is. You look like a marathon runner.
His audio's connecting, Dan.
What's up, guys?
James, how's it going, bud?
Pretty well, man. How about yourself?
Good. You look like a marathon runner right now.
Do I?
Oh, yeah.
Who's the beard?
Oh, just ready to go.
Yeah. With the backwards hat, he's ready. Dan, I'm Tip. I am 1 mile from where Dan is right now, but I'm in quarantine right now.
Yes.
So we covered this in the front end of the thing. We're vaccinated, but my wife ended up getting the other COVID, I guess. So I'm stuck for until my next PCR test comes back.
Tip's family is the reason this country's stuck in neutral right now.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It is. So yeah, go ahead. You can, if you say anything, James, you want edited out, just let us know. We can go back and take it out.
All right. No problem.
My guess is you're pretty trained at saying the right thing most of the time.
Yeah, I feel like we all are at this point. Right?
No shit.
Yeah.
Max, are you moving the camera around over there or what? Max is a producer too.
Earthquake test.
He's hiding. Yeah. We normally are side by side, so this is a little different, but we're talking Olympics too, so we'll bring you in on the Olympic talk.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I like it. All right,
You ready?
You want to do it? Go ahead.
You do it.
You want to? No, you set up the guest. You're the man.
Okay.
I bring in. So what I do is I bring in the NFL players.
Yeah. Right. All right. There we go. All right. Hey, right now we're joined by James Devlin. Spent seven seasons with the Pats.
8.
All right. Yeah. 8 seasons. Retired, unfortunately, due to a neck injury, which smart move on your part. You don't mess with that body part.
Yeah.
But was Pro Bowl, All-Pro, fullback from Brown University. Tip actually got him as a guest, which is surprising.
Wild. So I'm normally the baseball guy, James. I bring in the baseball guys. Dan's supposed to bring in like the World Series, the World Series, Super Bowl champs. By the way, you have 3 rings.
I do.
Dan has 2.
Correct.
2 different
this
times.
This isn't a contest. This is not a contest right now.
Just 2 different times of the GOAT era also, by the way. Dan, you were early. You were the early. Brady's my guy, by the way, and you'll learn that as we go here, James. But early was Dan. You were on the late side, and now we're getting another whole run right now, which I think he's got 2 or 3 more left in him right now. So you've got 3, though. I have a question, though, first, because we're going to start on this path, okay? Sure. I saw your Instagram post that you have just decided to run a marathon. You're going to run the Boston Marathon.
I am.
Which is normally in April, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. What has provoked you to do so, and do you feel like that frame is designed to run 24.2 miles?
26.2, and you're just wrong all over the place. Holy shit. 24.2.
26.
You are a complete moron. Hey, good first question, Tip.
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't say he was going to finish. He's going to run 24.2.
Yeah. No, I mean, my frame definitely isn't built for distance. 25 years of playing football, I rarely ever ran more than like 2-3 miles at once. But I really enjoy, I found like a little bit of solace in just the training and running and like the mental fortitude you got to have to just kind of keep plugging away when your body is saying like, stop. You're not built for this. Your knees, my ankles, all the stuff's filling up with fluid and all that stuff. I'm really finding like some joy in like pushing through that and having like the mental strength to just block it out and kind of let my mind control my body. So that was something that I've kind of grown to enjoy. And then when they announced that they were going to have the in-person marathon, I knew that, Joe Andruzzi sponsors the team, and I've, gotten to know Joe in the strength and conditioning role that he had in New England for a couple of years, and great dude and great organization that he runs. And so threw my name in a hat, and he obliged. And so I'm honored to represent his team and just take on this challenge.
I didn't know you were running for JAF.
Yeah.
Oh, that's phenomenal. And I mean, if anybody doesn't know Joe, and James, you can probably attest to this, and especially being around him, does he do anything else but charity work?
It doesn't seem like
it is. You want to talk about one guy that is just out of this world. Great guy, great family guy, was a great football player. But then at night, he's at a different charity event, not just his own foundation now, but he is at other people's charity events every night. And the fact that the relentless giving that man has, and coming back from a cancer survivor as well, but he just continues to give everything he has.
Yeah. I mean, I got to see it, up close and personal, and I know you did too. And it's really inspiring, man. So to be able to represent his organization, and I just absolutely love how personal his foundation is, to help families that are dealing with cancer, and just to be, paying the bills, and to actually like tangibly help these families. It's just something that I truly believe in, because, giving money to research and all that, that's great. But actually helping the families that are in the trenches right now, like that's what I love to do. So, it's a really great cause, and I'm really happy to try to raise, a bunch of money for them, and and then check one thing off my list, running a marathon.
Was this not a bucket list, right? This just came to you afterwards, and I guess the question is,
this can't be anybody's bucket list.
No, it's got to be a bucket list. It's got to be a bucket list thing. But
we're talking. Hang on, though, Dan. We're talking. So all three of us are in the 6'2", 6'3", 200 to 30, 200 to 50 pound guys thing.
Yeah.
My guess is it's not on our running bucket, our bucket list of life things. We got to get in a little bit different shape to do it. But yeah, how did this come up though? I know that you really want to be involved with the JAF thing and everything, but I don't know, Dan, is that where you were going with this?
No, because I think it came up so you train a certain way when you're playing, right, James? Mm-hmm. It's you do this, you do this, you do this, but then when you retire, it sort of becomes very just not fun after a while. Yeah. It's not a fun workout. And when James is saying I never ran more than 2 or 3 miles, I was the same way, and I was 300 pounds. There was no way I was going to go home and run more than a mile. There's no way I'm going to go home and run a mile after I got done working out or playing. But I think your attitude towards working out changes when you're retired, and you get a little bit more enjoyment out of the things maybe you didn't before. Yeah,
absolutely. And I was always a big weight room guy. I loved, throwing weight on my back and trying to, just push my body to the limits. And to your point, when you do that for so long and you have a purpose that you're trying to train for, it's beautiful and it becomes your identity. But then when, you took football out and then COVID happened and I was training with this guy I live on a little island down here in Jersey, and we have one gym on the island. The owner and I are friends, and I would just train with him every day through COVID, right? And I was still pushing a lot of weight. And then eventually I was just like, you know what? I don't have anything to show this for. Like when I was playing, the stronger I got, the better I was playing. So it kind of, you had that payoff. And now, I'm putting 700 pounds on my back. And then I walk home and now I just what I can tell my wife, and that's it. So then I started. I always had a little bit of I like doing the road work. I grew up training with a professional boxer, so I would always and that's how he got me lean. And I was like a pudgy kid in high school, and he was like, you got to lose some weight and you got to reform your body. So he would just send me out on runs, and so I always kind of had that in the arsenal, so to speak, as far as training. And then I started doing it a little bit more, pushing myself. How far can I go today? And then then I started liking the whole running thing. And then I knew that Ryan Mundell ran for JAF a couple of years back after he retired, and I kind of made a little mental note that would be a really cool thing to do. If I had the opportunity. And so it all kind of came to a head here, and here we are.
It's competitive. He's being competitive with himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a new challenge.
Absolutely. That's we Dan and I get into some challenges, and there's a new challenge that's been launched here. And we've done a Peloton challenge,
which you lost.
James, it took over the world. Everybody was watching it. We rode so many miles. You
gotta let me know. I got mine right there.
Oh
boy.
Okay, we got to get him in the gang. We got to get him on the Past Our Prime gang. So, okay, I will stalk you right after this. We'll see what your numbers push. But Dan and I he did 1,100 miles in a month, and I did just shy of 1,000.
Wow.
And that's cooking. We were riding 2-3 hours a day, and the loser had to jump in Narragansett Bay.
No, it was the ocean.
Yeah. And that was me, and it was the coldest day in the history of Rhode Island too. It was terrible. Nice. So now Dan comes to me last week and says, "New challenge. We're doing a weight loss challenge." Now we actually shredded a ton of weight during that, and we've put some slightly back on, but we're getting after it.
Slightly.
So we might need to, you and me both. So we wanted to do another challenge. I think that it's a weight loss challenge in whatever way that we want to do it, but I think the loser has to run the marathon. That would be an all-time. Like you would fight so hard to win that challenge, Dan.
I will not lose that challenge. Just like I told you the last one, I won't eat for a month, whatever, how long it is. It doesn't matter. I won't do it. But what's the training like for a marathon? How many miles are you up to a day? Or I know it goes up and down and rest days and all that stuff. But what can you do comfortably? And then, isn't it like you only run like a half mile or a half marathon at one point? And what's the training?
I'm just learning this. I kind of got a late start, right? So I texted Joe, and they actually had to get an extra bid. Like I wasn't a shoe-in. I didn't get in from the start. And that was just on my, I was just kind of being forgetful and all that stuff. So I got in, and Joe let me know that I had the opportunity, but I had been training for about 2 weeks, like kind of getting my distances up. So right now I can pretty comfortably run like 6 to 8. I do that like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I do 6 to 8. On Saturdays, I do a real long one. So last Saturday, like not just 2-3 days ago, but the one before, I ran 10, and then this past Saturday I ran 15.
Oh God!
And really, I feel like the hardest part is trying to find time.
Right.
Because
it's a long time.
Yeah, 2 to 3 hours. So I'm just out running around the island. And meanwhile, like my wife just gave birth to our fourth 3 weeks ago. So I got to like have somebody come over, like, oh, can you watch the 3 older ones? And so I can go out for a run. So there's like, different difficulties. But honestly, the running, I've found that if I can continue to like keep myself fueled and bring little snacks and water and all that, the running is not an issue. It's really just planning it all out. That's what I'm finding is kind of difficult, but it's also, it's fun. So
Headphones or no headphones for you?
Headphones for sure.
Playlist? What's on the playlist? What do we go with out there?
I'm all over the place. But recently I've been like, I went through I was listening to books. I went through that phase.
Oh, really? Get
lost in a
wow.
book.
Does that work? Can you focus on the book while you're doing that? Because I would be focused on just like the cursing in my head that I'm running for so long.
Focusing on not going into cardiac arrest. It would be. I'd be panicking.
I really like that. I could get so into the book and trying to like listen to, the words and all that I would kind of forget that I was running and like get lost in thought. But recently I've been, and this is probably going to sound stupid, but motivational speeches, particularly like guys like David Goggins, Jocko Willink, like there's real like hardcore military style, like kind of just dictating how you should live your life. That is that's been my go-to lately. And honestly, I'll just go onto YouTube and like search like a 2-hour one and leave my phone open while I run and just listen to it, and it gets the miles away,
We forgot.
Yeah,
he's a smart one from Brown. How did you end up at Brown?
That's true.
Oh man! All right, so I thought that I was going to go big time D1, like I was getting recruited by Michigan, UVA, all these like good schools, but big football schools, and I just didn't get offers, man. I was like, like I said before, I was a pudgy, bigger but slow white kid from southeastern Pennsylvania, and so when I was a sophomore, I was like 235, and people were like, "Oh, this kid's big," and then they realized I was just, just that, and I couldn't run. So
you don't need to run.
Then I made the choice. I said, "Oh, well, if I'm not going to go big time football, then I'm going to do the best education that I can." So I chose Ivy League, and then I chose between Brown and Princeton. Took visits. Brown just seemed like it fit me a little bit better, and then the rest is history.
Yeah, I have some this or that questions coming up later about Brown and Providence and everything, but Dan's a Pennsylvania guy too. Dan went to Boston College, and I'm going to prop Dan up a little bit. Normally I push him down. Seems like football players, big, big, overly sized, football players from Pennsylvania.
I thought you were propping me up.
I was going to say end up at pretty good schools.
Yeah.
You went to BC. You're an accounting major. You went for is it engineering? James, are you a
mechanical engineer?
Did you graduate from Brown as a mechanical engineer?
I did. Yep, 4 years. Got it done.
You better off doing that job than playing football.
Nah, football was way more fun.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of courses I still don't know what I learned.
Yeah.
What was the hardest course? For mine, it was like financial accounting standards and theory 1 and 2. It was just a ridiculously hard course. What is the toughest mechanical engineering course at Brown?
It was quantum mechanics.
Yeah, that sounds tough.
Yeah, like I mean,
sounds impossible.
Yeah, just recently, kind of like realized what I learned. For years, people would ask me that same question, and I would say quantum mechanics, and they would say, "Well, what was it?" And I was like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, But now I've kind of like, from reading a couple books and all that stuff, I kind of like backtracked into it and realized, the knowledge that I obtained was kind of useful, not in football, but in life maybe.
How was the transition retire? I mean, coming from, I guess I chose when I was going to retire. I did blow my knee out, but I knew that was going to be my last year. You were forced to do it because of the neck injury. Mm-hmm. How was that transition when there was football and then there isn't football? And are you still going through that transition?
I'd say I'm still kind of going through it. It was a little unique. Well, let's start from the beginning. The fact that it was an injury and I didn't have to like make that decision, I felt pretty comfortable with like having to retire because I just know like if I were to have to make the decision like, all right, this is going to be my last year, this is going to be my last game, this is going to be my last practice, I feel like I would have been very like, I don't know, in my head it would have been difficult for me. But because it was kind of taken out of my hands a little bit, I was kind of happy with the way it ended, and then retiring right into COVID was a little different.
Yeah, that's bad timing.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't exposed to it because there wasn't any press on training camp, and then even the watching games on TV, and you didn't have fans. It was like, this is weird, and it's like watching practice, so it was kind of easy to like disassociate from it. This year is a whole different story. I feel like I'm going on Instagram and I'm, checking everybody's stuff, and I see pictures, and now I'm like really missing it. Like I'm calling coaches, like, hey, let me get a little piece of something, like show me some film, something. But the transition's been great. It really has. I've really been able to take some time for my family, and like I said, we just had our 4th, so I've been like, full-time dad mode these last 3 weeks, and it's been great. I've been able to dip my toe in some other, business ventures and, investing opportunities, and really like to do something entrepreneurially, and, just kind of trying to get my feet wet and learn some things, and just take my time and do it the right way. And I don't want to just jump into the first opportunity I'm given. I trying to like learn how to do a proper due diligence period and like, weigh everything out. So I'm still kind of in that mode right now where I don't have like my teeth fully sunk into one project, but I'm figuring it out, and it's been fun. It's been, pretty good learning experience so far. So.
Yeah. I mean, we talked to everybody we're talking to. It seems like we talked to a lot of people that kind of have their head put on straight, right, Dan? Like where they were done with a game and then they've gone and done something else. Like when we talked to Paxton, we talked to Castle, we talked to all these people that, hey, they played, they made great living playing, but they're all looking to do something else. And we talk about this a bunch. It's because we're all 35 to 40 years old.
Yeah.
Like it's not like we're 65 trying to like be like, okay, I am going to go golfing every day now and not do anything, even though Dan and I try. It's like you have to do stuff. You have to do stuff and get cranked up with it.
But there's a difference, though. There's a difference because, and James is going to go through this now, where, look, people work to retire. That's the end goal. And like you said, it's 35 years old. It's a little bit, it's different because all your buddies are working. So you sit around the house all day, and you do have to figure out that next step and what's right for you. And I think James is going about it in the right way of taking his time and figuring out what he wants to do. But there's always that, look, this is, you were a baseball player forever. James was a football player forever. That's what you did. And it's hard to find that next step that's going to fulfill you in a way that football did. I don't think anything ever will. There's nothing that can come close to being in that locker room. There's nothing close to being in that stadium with those fans that can touch what might be the next stage. But you just have to be comfortable with it. Like, I went to practice the other day, James. There is not one part of me anymore that wanted to be out there anymore. It was training camp started out there. They're not even in shells. They're just in helmets. It was 75 degrees in like late July. It was like a vacation club out there. I couldn't even believe what was going on. It was so easy, but I still was like, I just don't want to do it anymore. I'm past that part. Yeah. And I mean, you'll get there.
Yeah. No, I kind of feel it. I mean, like that anxiety you get when it gets to be like middle of July.
Oh, it's the worst.
Oh my God.
And then you got the conditioning test, which you know you're going to pass, right? Yeah. It's not a big deal, but those feelings, and I'm going to be in a hotel for 3 weeks. My body's going to feel like shit for 6 months. It's just, you don't have those nerves, which you probably got this year because that's your body clock.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I was definitely a little anxious and, so I mean, it's definitely a learning process, and I'm happy with, where I'm at right now and like my personal growth as a man, as a father, as a husband, and, also hopefully as a businessman here soon. I mean, I got a couple irons in the fire that I would like to, see through here in the next like month or two. And, I mean, to your point, I'm definitely kind of taking it slow. COVID really wasn't like a great time to like get into a second career because I retired like April of 2020, like right in, and then COVID kind of blew everything up. So now I'm starting to kind of make some progress again on some things, and we'll see what comes of it, man. So it's
good. We can get the announcement when it happens.
Was that Dan?
We can get the announcement. We can get the breaking news.
Yeah, exactly. I have some stats here. Not necessarily football stats, but some ones the ones I want to bring up. Combine, bench. You remember how many reps? Because I've got it.
That's it was at my pro day. I didn't get invited to the combine. I was
whatever pro day. Yeah,
pro day was 39. Yep. But
how many?
Dan, you remember yours? Dan, you remember yours?
It wasn't 39.
I didn't look yours up because I was wondering if you would know.
I think my best was 32, and I think my combine one was 29.
Okay, all right. So he's much stronger than you. My other favorite one here, and I don't know if this is good or bad. I just was trying to measure in my mind. 28.5-inch vertical jump. Is that good? That's you.
No,
because I think I was like 31.5.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I think he can jump a little bit higher than that.
That says 28.5. I'm just going on. I'm going off the stats.
I did a couple times.
Yes, I've never dunked in my life.
But I probably got a couple inches. Well, I'll take it. I'm a better athlete.
No, we're all the same.
I'll take it.
Literally.
I'll take it.
We're all within.
We know Tip didn't dunk, so we know that.
No, I did. I got video of it. I'll send you a video of it.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Well, if we're going to talk video, I got video of me doing 49 reps at 225.
Wow, that's
in the Patriots weight room, man. So it's.
If I tried to put up 225 right now, I could do it, but I'd probably have to have labrum surgery like tomorrow. I could probably put up 3, but it would be I'd be in some. A right shoulder would be like on the floor. That would be a big problem. You were listed at 6'3", 251. I don't know what you played at though. Dan always talks about like being within like 2 pounds of like where he was always at for his weight, where he knew he felt best. And I knew that pitching for me, I was within like, if I was like 216, 217, that was like perfect for me.
Yeah.
What are you going to try to run the marathon at, do you think?
What are you down to now?
I'm 250.
Oh, Jesus. And you're going to run 26 point or 24.2 according to Tip.
No, yeah. I kind of want to do it a little bit as like a statement to say that.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like big guys can do it too.
49 reps. I wouldn't wear a shirt either. I just let it hang.
Yeah, no,
we've got some wave vests if you need them
because my nipples will chafe off on his shirt.
Hey, I was actually thinking about that. What are you going to do for your nipples? Because that hurts after a while.
Absolutely,
you would be coming down the finish line with just 2 bloody nipples.
Oh no, I can feel that right now. Like spring training, that was the first thing that would always go. It wouldn't be like I'd have sore calves or like a sore shoulder. It would be like, how fast are my nipples going to give way?
I know. I never even realized that was even a thing.
It's a thing
until I started running a little bit more with that. Yeah, so I might have to run it shirtless. Somebody just challenged me to run it in uppers with a helmet on. Well, college football. You should run the marathon with pads and a helmet on. And I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I don't recommend that. I don't think the helmet would be good. The uppers would be classic, but I think you need to get the ventilation in there.
Yeah.
Dan, does JAF do they wear like sponsored apparel?
I think so.
Do you guys know?
Yeah, they do, but I would not know.
I think
we should do something for these guys. Squad Lockers should do something for these guys.
Yeah.
We'll figure out how to do that. We'll figure out something to do that. That will work. I would love to do that. No receiving touchdowns.
No. Well, one in the AFC Championship, but it doesn't go down as like an official one. So.
Got it. Because I thought I remembered one, and I was like, I always felt like Brady always found somebody who you never would think would catch a touchdown. That was like almost kind of like a thing. It was like it was always people that were like, how the hell did that guy get a touchdown? Like other than just smashing through somebody at the goal line like you would do. But so you got one in the AFC game. That makes sense because when I saw it didn't hit the stat column, I was like, no way, he's got to have one. I almost remember like a back pedal like catch for some reason.
Yeah, and I kind of backed into somebody and then like spun off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you do have one.
He's got hands.
Okay, so you do have one of those. Also, Blue Angels. I saw that you went up in the Blue Angels. That's a life goal of mine. Life goal of mine. Love fighter pilots and planes and speed. What was that like? We haven't had a Blue Angel guest on yet, so I'm ready to hear this.
There was a little bit of a couple of year run where they were doing the Rhode Island Air Show, and one of my teammates, Mike Omanawanui, he went with them when they were in Arizona. He was living in Arizona, and he went up with them. So he had a couple friends that he met through that experience. Then my father-in-law worked for Lockheed Martin, and we, they all kind of like did a little bit of like inside work. And then I got the connection to do it in Rhode Island. And man, it was an experience like none other. I thought I was, I was like, no way I'm passing out. Like, they're teaching me how to do the breathing so that
the hip breathing or something.
Do they try and make you pass out?
I don't know. I mean, they're not saying that they do, but they're doing everything to make it uncomfortable for sure. Oh, I think they want you to experience it. You know? I mean, what they do, and I know like the Air Force has the Thunderbirds, right? And they wear G suits, so they're like kind of protected. What the Blue Angels do, and they have nothing but like just what's in their body to withhold like that kind of pressure. It was insane. So I passed out like almost immediately on the first, like we took off and then we just went straight up. We pulled like 7.5 G's and I was like out at like a light, and I woke up and we're doing all this stuff over the water, like down at, I think we were right above Narragansett. Air Force Base. And we're doing all this cool stuff. We went the speed of sound and all this stuff. It was really, really cool. And then we were coming back in, and he was like, all right, we can either land like normal and, we'll be done with it, or we can go and do this one like maneuver where we're going to pull a lot of G's again. And I was like, well, I'm up here. Let's do the hard one. So we did it, and I passed out. Woke up, and we're like on the ground, and I was shaking like I had thrown up. So I was out, and it's all on video. I was out, and then as I woke up, I threw up out of my nose. And so like I was so like out of it, and my wife was like, "Oh my God, what happened up there?" But yeah, it was a absolutely incredible experience, and I would recommend it to anybody. It was so damn cool.
I want to see the video. I want to see the video. I think that is like the baddest thing to do on the planet.
Oh yeah.
And then what is? I know how a regular plane feels. What does that plane feel? Does it feel like you're flying? Does it like is there turbulence, or is it just so smooth and fast that you don't really feel? You just feel the pressure.
Yeah, there's turbulence at points, and then there's like when we were about to hit Mach 1, everything was like shaking, right? And then I feel like you like felt it, and it started going smooth, and it was when we broke that barrier. Like everything like leveled off. And then, but like the planes are, I mean, they're just so efficient in the air. They can do whatever they want. So he's like flipping us upside down. You don't even like know you're upside down, You look up and all you can see is water, and one of the scariest parts was, so he would flip us upside down when I passed out to get my blood to rush back to my head. So then I would wake up, and when that was a weird experience because I had never passed out like that before. And so coming back to, like, I remember I could hear him talking to me, but I couldn't, like, my brain just wasn't working. And so I was like, oh my God, what is this state I'm in? I thought I was dead. And then all of a sudden, like, my eyes opened and I like came to, and all I can see is water. And man, that was an experience. And then we're still upside down, and I saw a screw spinning on the windshield there, and I like picked it up, and I was like, oh boy, like what? Stuck it in my pocket. I was like, better hope we don't do that.
Yeah, what's that thing?
Yeah, but nah, man, it was so cool. I think I still have the video somewhere, so I'll try to dig it up.
They always bring the newscasters on there, and they could pass out. Dan, you ever see that?
Yes.
I always laugh at that because I go to the air show every year. I love it. We usually go on the water for it, and they always bring up like somebody from News Channel 10, and like the person's just out, like just smashing their head back and forth. In it. But
I want to say, did Matty P go up with them one time, or does he know? I want to say Patricia knows some of those guys or goes down.
Yeah.
Did he go up though? Because I actually think it would be hilarious to see Matty P up there.
Oh my God, yeah, they'd have to squeeze him in there. It's pretty tight. You have no room. You have no room at all, And I came out, I was fully drenched. They put me in a one of their little blue like zip up jumpsuits, and all I was wearing was underwear underneath. I felt.
Did you get to keep the jumpsuit?
No.
Oh shit!
That would have stashed that for sure.
That would have been right in the bag.
Yeah, well, it wasn't like the official Blue Angels. It was just like a jumpsuit they had that I don't know who wears them.
I still would have stole it. I still would have taken it. No doubt.
Yeah, but I was drenched, dude. I can't believe it was taxing, man. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
We were talking Olympics before you came on, so. I've been saying because I've been, a little bit in quarantine here for a couple of days, I've seen a lot of different events at weird times of the day, different times of the hour. So Dan and I said, okay, what if, first of all, we said, wouldn't it be cool if it was a Hunger Games thing where like right when the Olympics are over, they assign certain people, like you are on the men's national soccer team in 4 years, you got to get ready. And that's how they did the Olympics. But also if you could train for 4 years right now, like as soon as this thing stops and you're in.
I know what he's going to say.
What's your best chance? What's your best chance at a sport?
I'd probably boxing.
I was going to be wrong. I was going to say weightlifting for him. If he's doing 49 reps at a certain point in his life and he's still 250 right now and looks like
give him 4 years
like a brick shit house, I think he'd be all right there.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, but I like grew up boxing since I was 17. I love the sport. I did it through college with this guy down in Rhode Island, Central Falls. He's an absolute nut. He's like as close as to Mick from Rocky as you can get. So I love boxing, but yeah, weightlifting. I mean, that shoe would definitely fit. So,
are you doing anything weird now besides the running? Because that's just weird for football players.
I know where Dan's going with this.
Oh yeah,
for working out, Dan.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's more like stretching.
Yeah.
Dan likes hot yoga Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, 5:30 a.m. If anybody wants to go, power yoga. So that's his big thing, and he goes in there and sweats his bag off.
I still can't touch my toes, but I think I go in there for the sauna.
Yeah.
No, I haven't gotten into anything like that. No.
Are you still trying to push the weight?
Or
not as much?
I mean, not as much for sure. I mean, I've kind of tapered off, especially with running and lifting heavy don't exactly mesh, but I would like to try to get maybe after I'm done the marathon, kind of get some sort of hybridization between the two, where I can kind of continue to do both. Because I think it would be an interesting ability to run long distance, but then also go and squat the house or something like that. So
yeah. I'm searching for Dan's most recent Peloton ride, because I know he just got off of one here right before he got on. Let's see what you did, really? Dan. Did you? Was it a PR?
Actually, no. The 30-minute was not a PR. I did lift weight.
477.
I did lift weights this morning at 6 a.m. with my new my new weightlifting gang, and then I did a meeting, and then I did a 30-minute ride, and then I did PR and a 10-minute ride after that. Oh,
by the way, are you not joking about? Did you go to that place? The weightlifting place?
Oh yeah, I got a new weightlifting gang.
Okay, I'll get the.
And by the way, I mean we're all old, and we all try not to get hurt. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
It is fantastic.
All right, I've got a couple this or that's, and we'll let you go. So, Thayer Street or downtown Providence?
Thayer Street.
Thayer Street. Okay.
But it depends on where in Providence.
Okay, my next thing is, if you go to East Side Pockets, I loved East Side Pockets. Is it the falafel gyro or the Caesar wrap? What are you choosing there? Because that thing is a line out the door. It's been for 20 years.
My order has been the same. It'll never change. Chicken and falafel combo pocket with everything on it.
I'm gonna have to try this. I'm gonna have to try. I've never had this.
Yeah.
Pick me up right now. We'll go.
No, you're in quarantine.
I used to live right where Hope branched off of Thayer.
Yep.
And I remember multiple times at 1:50 in the morning, just hitting a dead sprint down Thayer to get there right before 2, and it would close, and they would give me all the baklava that was, they had to throw away anyways. Man, East Side Pockets and Meeting Street right behind it.
Yep.
Those two places I've probably been more than any other restaurant in my entire life, for sure.
I would assume, man. I mean, East Side Pockets is incredible. I wrote down Brown engineering class, but now I'm going to go with quantum. What was it again?
Engineering?
Quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics or a Patriots playbook. What's more difficult to understand? Because we hear all about how it's people don't pick up on it, takes forever. What things more difficult?
I mean, definitely, I'd say quantum mechanics. I mean, football is difficult. It's difficult to keep everything kind of in its own little spot. But once you pick it up, I mean, that playbook is it becomes second nature, where quantum mechanics is that's stuff.
Although you're saying you retain it. You're saying you retained a little bit of it. You're getting back into it.
A tiny little bit. I kind of know what they were talking about. But there's so much theoretical things that just went over my I'm much more of a practitioner than a theoretical. I like to apply what I'm learning, and that football definitely works that way. But when you're trying to learn all these theories and then prove them, I'm what am I why? What do I even need to know this? Someone hundreds of years proved this. I believe them. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah. That's what I say about cursive. What's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you played defense in high school, though, right? You were more on the defensive side. So I put down defense or offense, but the reason I'm saying this too is, as a fullback, you're blocking people. You just want to destroy people. I mean, like as much as possible is the way it looks like that position is played. So I would assume you'd probably love to play linebacker also, maybe, right? I don't know. Yeah. Defense or offense? I know you played offense, right? But what would you rather do?
I mean, if I had my choice, probably defense. I like the aggressive nature of it, Right. But that being said, like to your point, I mean, fullback, offensive line, like you get to be aggressive, 90%. Yep. You have like an actual task that you need to accomplish on each play. Or on defense, you're kind of like, a wild dog out there. You just got to get to the ball, So they're very similar, playing fullback, playing linebacker. You're doing the same thing. You're hitting, which is what I loved about the game. But if, defense is just, there's like a freedom to it where it's just like the ball snapped and you get to just like freelance, defense, I'd probably have to say slight edge.
There are those outliers out there. Like you're supposed to play in a system. You're supposed to have an assignment, but then you got guys like Junior Seau or something that were so freakishly athletic that the system didn't matter. And they could be in the wrong spot, the wrong gap, but they would have the ability physically and mentally to make up for it. And those guys are the wild cards. Those guys are the tough ones playing. So you don't know where they're going to be. Yeah. You know where, and James is a smart guy. Playing offense, he knows exactly what he's looking at and where that guy should be. Mm-hmm. But it's the guys that don't do it sort of throw you off.
Yeah.
And then, and I know you got the neck injury, and I know it wasn't probably from one hit. It was probably multiple hits. The guy that I didn't want to go against, or I knew I was in for a long day and my head was going to hurt afterwards, was Zach Thomas. He was coming downhill. He wasn't swimming. He wasn't running around blocks. He was coming right at you every play, and it hurt. It hurt game after game. Who was your guy that you like, all right, I know what's coming?
You know what? Funny you say that. Very kind of similar to player, Elandon Roberts, man, my own teammate.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah, to go against, day in and day out of practice through training camp and all that stuff. I mean, he's built, he's got that natural leverage. Like when he just runs, he's so much lower than everybody, and I was kind of taller for a typical fullback. So I'd really got to get down and get under him. And man, he just had like no regard for his body. He's just, like first day of 9-on-7.
You just gave me shivers. You just gave me chills. We don't need to mention that in this.
Yeah, like the Saturday, the first week of camp, when you can put pads on 9-on-7, everybody knew that 34 lead was the first call, and he would just come, get like a running start right through the A gap, and we would just meet, and it was just like chaos, year in and year out.
So people were watching. They knew what was coming. Don't you find that kind of bullshit though? Because practice is built for the defense. They know exactly 9-on-7. You're not passing the ball. There's no play action. They're coming downhill right away. It's just like, okay. I mean, they know the run's coming. It's hard enough to run when they don't know. Yeah. Now they know, and now they know the first play. Isn't that kind of bullshit?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I always thought that too. I mean, it was. There's so many drills that are geared for the defense, but on that thought, when we did break a run and you knew that they kind of knew it was coming and you just put it down their throat no matter what, that was a good feeling. And that was like, man, if we can continue to do that on Sundays, we're going to be something for teams to deal with. So, yeah, I mean, it was, but E-Rob, man, he just brought it every single time, man, and it definitely probably took a couple games off my career.
I always want to ask a fullback this question, so I'm glad we have you on here, because this always spins in my mind whenever I watch football games. I didn't play football either, so Dan will bust my balls.
He played soccer.
We didn't
he played European football.
Yeah, we didn't have it at my high school. We absolutely would have played football, so just relax on that, Dan. When it's 4th and 1, right? 4th and 2, 4th and a foot, whatever it is, I would be so geared up.
Ask James what Bill calls it.
I mean, it better be a first down, is I'm assuming what he's calling it.
No, what Bill calls it in the meeting.
What does he call it in the meeting?
Fourth in the length or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. So I would be so cranked up for that. But also, why don't you get the ball more in that situation? Because, like, I mean, just like fullbacks, you guys are monsters. And, like, but I get it that you're supposed to hit somebody first, so that way there's a tiny wedge, right, that somebody gets through. But I just feel like that should be the fullback's first down all the time. Like, no questions asked. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably totally wrong. Am I wrong, Dan?
I mean, you're not totally wrong, but you're kind of wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd say, like,
so right now I've got the center. If I'm a running back right now, I would never be. But I got the center and I've got a fullback right here. You're telling me that us three can't go out there and go get an inch? Can't go get a foot? I'm
saying we can. We can't get it up in Foxborough, right? We're past our prime. We're not doing that.
Okay.
However, though, when you have a 250-pound back in front of you, right?
Yeah.
And you can get more. I mean, they got more room to work too, right? So you're thinking 7 yards versus 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
You get more time to gain some speed, and it's kind of easier to get it that way. The trap or the fullback, lead or dive, it's kind of like a change of pace. Like, let's just try and go quick and, almost trick them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a quick pitch.
Yeah.
In baseball, right? Like,
which it will work. It will work. It will work.
I always feel like it's too fast of an exchange.
It will work more often than not because it's not called. It's more of a change up on it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Got it. Okay, so this is a good.
But I would give it to James every time. I'd have no problem with that.
Oh, well, thank you.
I mean, just plow the road, right? Like, isn't that like a term or something? Or is that was an Independence Day, actually? That was the Jets. That was the fighter jets. Remember, they were like, plow the road. That's right. Okay. So that's last question that we ask, because then we want to get some info on raising money too.
Okay.
We always ask everybody what their favorite Gatorade color is. Do you have a favorite Gatorade color?
Blue.
Okay, it's blue. Yeah, you're younger than us. That's why, Dan.
We should try and go with the originals, but we'll accept.
We'll accept blue. We'll accept blue.
We let people think what they want to think and do what they want to do. We're very.
Well, what are your favorites?
I like red. From the original flavors, I like red. I don't think it can be touched.
I'm yellow. Do you remember? Like I asked. So you won 3 Super Bowls. Do you remember like the Gatorade colors during those Super Bowls? Is it the same? Is it?
I don't know, man.
I would remember that. For some reason, that would stick in my head because I would watch that shower probably so many times, right? That I'd be like, 2013.
Have you gone back and watched them at all? Besides maybe off season, I want to say Scar made us watch the 07 one the first day when we came in from the off season training. It was brutal. I mean, that game you don't want to lose anyway. I think we watched that one as a team, but I don't think we ever watched another one as a team. And I haven't seen any of them all the way through.
Yeah, no, I've never sat down and watched from like front to back. I've caught like a couple of them on like Greatest NFL Network, like Greatest Games or whatever, just bits and pieces. Definitely watched the Eagles game that we lost. So
right, yeah. Oh, we gotta learn. We gotta learn from it, right?
Yeah. And
Ivan's gonna take you in there and yell.
Yeah, I mean, we'd see it all through training camp that next year. I mean, that was like, and I hated that one, man, because I grew up in Philly, and it was just that was a tough pill to swallow.
I gotta ask you this one because I'm not going to get a straight answer from Edelman. I'm not going to get a straight answer probably from Tommy on this. What the hell and how did you guys come back from 28-3?
Man, it was just. I mean, I wish I had like something that really happened, but it was just kind of like everything started going our way, man. It was like
perfection.
There became this point where it was like, man, if we just play in and play out, do what we need to do, and everything goes our way. We get a couple good calls, a couple good, like Edelman making that like acrobatic catch off the ground, like everything just kind of started going our way. Dante gets the
strip sack
and all that shit. Like everything.
Well, James. I was there and I watched the first 3 quarters in the stadium. Then I had to go out and do the broadcasting. You guys played like absolute dog shit for 3 quarters. And I can't even believe, like, I was outside, and then you could hear the building as the fourth quarter went on.
Shaking.
You guys, Tip, you're right. They played absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Atlanta absolutely
blew it
and made some wrong decisions, right? In critical situations.
The toughest one.
And helped you guys out. But like everything that had to go right went right, and everything that they had to do wrong, calling pass plays in situations, getting the strip sack and all that, like they did it. And it just like the odds of that happening are
crazy.
Like you're a Brown guy. Engineering, what are the odds? 0.01%?
Those aren't even there.
Tip has a better chance of beating me in a weight loss competition than you guys had in that game.
The craziest one was the fact that Matt Ryan took that sack. Like that is beyond me. The fact that he took that sack to push them out of field goal range. Remember that? That's nuts. Like what were they doing? Literally just take a knee.
I know. It was.
I mean, that was nuts. You knew that the stars were aligning on that one.
Is that the favorite one? Or are they all special?
They all have their significance and all that. My favorite was probably our first in 2014 because it was our first or my first.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything was just like the biggest and best that I've ever seen. I had nothing to compare it to. The game was epic, with Malcolm making that last second like interception on the goal line. So everything was awesome. And then the after party was like my favorite because it was like it was down in Arizona. We were at our hotel and it was real like kind of personal and like it didn't seem like it was such a huge production.
Mm-hmm.
So 2014 was my favorite, but each one kind of had their like pros and cons. But as I got like into the second, third, fourth, it was like I was starting to get so spoiled, like everything I see, I'm like comparing it to, this isn't as good as that one. And that,
crazy.
Like,
you got about 10,000 former NFL players just flipping you off at that point.
I know, man. Yep. I hate to say it, but it's just it happens, It does. What was your favorite one?
It's got to be the first one, right? I think you're right. It was new. Close game. Vinatieri won it on the field goal late. Last minute drive type thing. I think it's the first one. The second one, I met my wife too. So how do you pick? It's like picking a favorite kid. Sometimes it's that one, and some days it's the other one. It is what it is. Did you find it harder to calm down in that game? Because obviously the first snap, normal games, AFC Championship games, those jitters, the anxious feelings go away, right? Mm-hmm. I always found the Super Bowl was a completely different animal, and I would be there in the middle of the first quarter still, or late into the first quarter, and my hand is literally shaking with the ball in front of me, which never happened before, but it happened in all three of the Super Bowls that I played in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that you could just feel the pressure and like the energy and how many eyes are on you, and it is like it's at the end of the day, it's just another game. It's football, like it's the same thing we've been doing all year, but it's just something different. There's just so much hype to it, man, and I mean it's a feeling like I'll probably never reproduce.
Well, hey, you're going to cross the finish line at the Boston Marathon on Boylston Street, so that's
going to
be pretty freaking cool.
That's going to feel pretty good. I mean, and I do appreciate all the Super Bowls, guys, so that you guys have made my early adulthood, a very fun time. I thank you both for that, Dan. I've never thanked you for that, so thank you.
Look at you.
So how do we? You're going to get a donation from me. You're going to get one from Dan. You're going to get one from Squad Locker, Past Our Prime. So you already got 4.
Hell yeah.
So maybe Max will get you a sandwich or something. You're in there, Max, still, right?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Max will send one over. So how do we do it? Like, what's the best way to do this? Follow your Instagram or direct the listeners where to go?
There's a link in my bio on Instagram. That's probably the best place to be. I mean, the link is pretty lengthy, so if I said it right now,
no one's gonna remember. Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean it's real long. It's like Give and Gain /AP/ James Devlin raising money for Joe Andruzzi Foundation.
Yeah. check out your Instagram. Check out Joe Andruzzi Foundation. Their Instagram, their website, all the information. we'll be in there. That's cool.
Exactly.
What's your Instagram handle? We'll tag it on the episodes and everything, but what's your Instagram handle? That way we have it.
At Devlin.
Perfect. Okay. I'm excited to follow your progress on this. I'm sure you're going to be posting about it a lot. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to send you a message right after this. I'm getting your Peloton name, and then I'm just going to look at your stats the rest of the afternoon. Okay. Because we need it. We need to see. Because Dan, and then we'll give you our gangs. We'll give you the bike gangs that we're in, and we'll start getting some live rides together, maybe, or some sessions. We'll go after it.
Just tell you. It's been like over a year since I got on that thing.
Oh, that's fine.
Right behind you. It's right behind you.
Actually, Tips is to the left of him right now. His left, you're right. He actually doesn't use it anyway. He doesn't really use it.
Lodi. I've rode it almost every day.
All right. No, I should really get back on it. It's just, I don't know.
No, you got to run. You got to run.
Once we moved it into the bedroom, I feel like we never used it. I got it for my wife. And I would always use it at the stadium. Mm-hmm. And that's when I got in, like, especially 2019 when I got hurt, but I was on the IR. I was Pelotoning like almost every day. So I got some pretty good stats from that. So yeah.
We'll dig back. Don't worry, I'll dig in. I'm going to go back.
I think Andrews does it too. So we can.
He and I would do it together. We were on IR together, so that was perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, worked out good.
And we've got Castle then and Woodhead too. Yeah. So we've got. You can put a nice team together here.
We're developing a gang.
Hell yeah.
We are. We're developing a nice gang. All right, man. Thanks, James. I appreciate it. This is awesome, man. We're going to follow that progress, and we'll be pushing this out. We'll get you some. We'll raise some money for the foundation. We'll get it done.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Awesome, James. Good luck, man.
Great talking to you. You got it, man. We'll see you. Bye.
Past Our Prime is brought to you by Squad Locker. Squad Locker is your one-stop shop for custom team apparel, delivered right to your front door. Learn more by visiting squadlocker.com.